Hi, how are you? Check out these stars. Okay, this one's partially painted, as you can see. I have a fun patriotic decoupage project for you. I hope you're ready. Come sit for a while. Let's hang out. I have a couple of napkins here that I got at surprisingly Dollar Tree, and I don't even know where this other one came from, but I'm loving it. So I hope you love it too. These are the beaded star frames, okay? So I already finished the big one. I used gilding wax from my shop. What is this? There it is. The gold gilding wax. And y'all, just a cheapo paintbrush from Dollar Tree. Those are actually some of my favorite paintbrushes. If you haven't grabbed a pack of those paintbrushes yet for yourself while you're at Dollar Tree, go and snag it because you don't want to miss out. So I'm going to show you how I painted this. So basically, I use the gilding wax and just this cheapo paintbrush. I plan on throwing this away after I get done. Okay? Oh my gosh. This thing keeps on just zooming in and out. I don't know what's going on here. Here we go. Alright. Hi, Sam. Hi, Lori. Let's see if I can paste this. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Welcome. Alright. I gotta zoom in some. I can't read any of this. Alright. Hi, Diane. How are ya? Welcome. Happy Friday to you all. Okay, so I'm just dipping right into there. And make sure that you don't use a paintbrush that you really particularly care about or that's expensive because this stuff is wax, okay? And it's not going to easily come off. It's not just water soluble. I don't know exactly what you need to clean a brush after using it with this. So don't plan on keeping it. But basically, I'm just like painting and then kind of swirling over the beads to fill in around the beads, okay? So I did that with all of them. I went all the way around, and then I'm going to do the outside of the frame too. See, I've already done the edges on here. So I want to do this first so that it'll get a chance to dry while we're doing the rest of this project so that I don't get this stuff all over my hands. I'd hate to wait for last and to do this last and then have it everywhere. I will have it all over me. I already do, in fact, a little bit. Hi, Rainy. Hi, Sandra. How are you? You can comment star to get the link. I'm going to just set that brush over there for now. I'm going to cover this stuff up. Make sure that you're in a well-ventilated room. Whenever you're using that gilding wax, it is a little bit smelly. Okay, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me, y'all. I'm so happy it's Friday. This was a long week. It felt like the longest week ever, and it was actually a short week. So I'm already not looking forward to next week. So these are the inserts for the star frames, okay? Now, I have these two prints. This one's just an American flag napkin, and I already started pulling them apart. Let me see where I started. Okay, so we're going to take the top and bottom layers. We're going to remove the bottom layer, okay? So that it's just a single ply. Alright? And we'll do this with this one too. Now, this was a little bit difficult, so I wanted to make sure that I do it before my live started, because trying to watch me try to pick this apart is very difficult. But I did find a pair of tweezers is much easier. So if you kind of just, like, mess with it with your hand, and then you can kind of grab it, somehow the tweezers get it really easily, okay? And if one corner doesn't work very well, try a different corner, okay? But that's how I did it until I could get it to, like, come apart. And then with Movie Magic, I already have this one done because I didn't want to make y'all sit here. But that's all I did is I just kind of picked it apart with my tweezers, and I did not tear it, okay? I just used the tweezer to just kind of mess with it and kind of dig at that corner. Hi, Stephanie, how are you? Until I got it to come apart, okay? So give that a try. If you've never done dry decoupage, highly recommend it. It's super easy. All you need is some Mod Podge. So this is a bottle of Mod Podge that I bought off of Amazon. Oh, they're terrible. Yeah, I refuse to do it on my live anymore. I've made that mistake a couple times. So I actually have a bigger thing of Mod Podge, but this one's just easier because it has a squirt top. And I'm going to use, sorry for leaning like that, just a little foam brush, okay? So I just squirted a little bit on here, and I'm going to spread that. Now, I probably need more than that. I want to have a decent layer. Now, this is a chalkboard surface. You could totally use chalk on these. There is a transfer that goes with these stars, so don't feel like you have to do this specific project. But I didn't want to do what everyone else is doing. Okay, I've seen these stars done with the transfers. They look lovely. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. But I try to do something different, especially when this design has been out now for a couple of weeks. So it's not like this is new. Okay. And anybody that's watching any other chalk designers, I'm sure y'all have seen these stars already. Hopefully, if not, I would love for you to buy them for me. You can comment star, okay? And if you're not yet my perks member, you can sign up for perks and save 30% on all of your purchases. All right, so do that because you will be able to save a ton of money, okay? And it has no requirement other than costing $20 a month. And you get that in product credit right back into your account as soon as your payment goes through. So, like, it's not free because you're still having to pay, but you're going to spend that $20 anyways if you want to be a perks member and save 30%. So why not save 30% and get a $20 credit every month? I mean, this is crafter math, okay? It adds up to me. So anywho, I'm going to just dry this. Now, this is dry decoupage. It works amazing. Make sure that it's very dry, okay, the Mod Podge is. Now, I did a nice layer on here. I want to make sure every part of the surface has got some Mod Podge on it. I think I see a little bit right here that doesn't. So I'm just going to reinforce these little tips of the stars to make sure, okay, that I got a good layer on there, because I want it to stick to the entire star. I don't want to make have a spot that doesn't quite stick all the way, because then it's just not going to work great. But these do go into the frames, like it's like a regular picture frame insert, you know. So it may not be that huge of a deal, but I want this to stick really nice, okay? So, and once I get my napkin on there, that's it. I'm not going to have another opportunity, so I need to go ahead and make sure that it's good before I begin, okay? Now, I have my little mini heat press heating up right now. You do need a heat press of some kind. You can use the 9x9 one that I have, or you can use the little handheld one. You don't have to have a Cricut one. I have a Cricut one. I got it on Amazon. But there's plenty of options that are less expensive if you want to buy a cheaper one. Totally do that. Any of them that I've ever seen work the same. Okay, it's just the name brand that you're paying for with the Cricut one. Now, I want to make sure this is completely dry, and I just stuck my finger in it over here a minute ago, and it wasn't quite there. So I want every part of this to be dry, because I don't want to have any wrinkles on my napkin whenever I go to put it down, and the wet Mod Podge will cause it to have wrinkles, okay? So make sure it's totally dry. And then comment star here to get the list of all the stuff that I used. Also to get the link to become my perks member if you're not already. Or to sign up for live notifications. If you're not getting notified whenever I go live, you can comment start, and there's a link there to sign up to get notifications. Now, my ones through Facebook are not working great. For some reason, they still haven't figured them out, so I went back to the old way that I was doing before, which is totally fine. It works. Hi, Tammy. So if you're not getting them, make sure that you comment the keyword, which is star, and sign up to get the notifications through the messaging, okay? You just have to click a few buttons and basically sign up through you have to agree to receive the notifications. Hi, Melissa. How are you? All right. Now, because I went a little bit thicker on the ends of the stars, it's taking a minute to really completely dry. Alright. I think this one's pretty good. It's this little guy that needs a little bit more. And I could probably actually set them on top of each other so that I could do both at once, just to reinforce that the one underneath is dry too. Alright, we're getting somewhere. It's happening slowly but surely, okay? So these are really cool. This is the first time I've opened these, but they're rounded stars. They look really awesome, y'all. I love these frames. Now, I did not paint the inside of the frames with the gilding wax. I probably should have, but I was already making a mess and getting it all over myself as it was. So, I was trying to minimize that as much as I could. Okay, so now what I want to do really quick is I'm just going to cut this just inside of the line now. I'm going to try not to tear it. Just so that I can see. My scissors are a little bit sticky from cutting transfers. Do y'all ever get that on your scissors? Whenever you cut the transfers, you get like a little bit of stickiness. Probably clean that up with like some Totally Awesome spray or some alcohol would work fine. It's fine. I just did a quick little clean up with a baby wipe. And that didn't quite do it all the way, but that's okay. I'm trying to preserve the stars up here as much as I can. Oh my gosh. I'm stuck. Okay. There we go. Now, that way I can tell exactly what I'm doing here. I don't want to have only stripes, but I do want to cover the whole star. So I didn't want to go too far over and pick up part of the other one of the flags. Okay, so now I'm going to just set this on here. I have some parchment here. Okay, this is just regular parchment paper that I use whenever I ink. I'm going to set that down and hold it steady. Okay, and I've got my little mini press on medium heat. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly move around my star. Okay, making sure that I touch the whole thing, but I don't sit too long. I don't want to burn it. I don't have it on completely high heat where I'm going to scorch the crap out of it. Okay. Sorry for the C word. Okay, so there's my decoupage. Now it's completely stuck on there. Let's go do the next one really quick. And then we will remove the napkin. Now remember, this is only the first layer of the napkin, so make sure that you separate it. You don't want to have both layers on here. Oh, crud. Y'all, I'm doing too much, okay? Way too much. All right, now, make sure you have your parchment. You don't want to tear your napkin or burn it. Sometimes I use the parchment, sometimes I don't. It's a toss-up, whether I end up using it or not. Now, let's see how good that's stuck. I still have a little bit down here that doesn't feel like it's really on there, so I'm just going to go back. Make sure I can kind of feel where if there's any bubbles or anything like that. There we go. All right. That's good. Let's fold this back up. This is my handy dandy piece of parchment that I use on all my ink projects. So I'm going to just stuff that back over there. Now, I've got this and my scissors are like done for. I mean, they're sticky. I need to clean them up, but let's see if I can't kind of. Now I'm just trimming this roughly around here, okay? Try not to tear it too close to the star. It's okay if it does tear away from the star. because we're going to come back with a sanding block. You can use a nail file, which works really good for small places. Like, I might use a nail file on this smaller star, actually, which I keep one in my drawer here just for this purpose. And for the emergency nail filing and situations that sometimes pop up in the craft room. Where I get a hangnail and I'm like, I gotta do something about this immediately because I can't stand it. Okay, so that's all. I just cut roughly, okay? And we'll start with a sanding block. This is a 220 grit. So it's a real fine grit. You want to use a more fine grit on something like this, okay? Especially with a napkin, because it's going to tear super easy, okay? You don't need a low grit, or else you're going to end up tearing your napkin off. And move in a downward motion. Okay, don't go back and forth. We're not sawing it off. Dozer's over there. He's probably going to knock down the gate to my room, come in here and knock over all my lights. Who knows what he's going to do, y'all? He's a nut. So earlier, I took a nap before my live. And so Ivy's staying here with us, right? She has a dog. Super sweet little dog that she has. But her dog is very skittish, okay? She, in her previous life, before she came to live with Ivy, she was very, I think she was horribly abused because she is afraid of everything, okay? But the last few days with the storms that we've been having, she has been up my behind all day long, okay? This dog will not leave my side, okay? And I'm here with her, with both dogs all day long. And so, earlier, Ivy left to go to work. Look how pretty that looks. Y'all, it looks like this is painted on. That is a freaking napkin. Can you believe it? Hi, Michelle. How are you, love? Welcome. Isn't that amazing? Can you believe this is a napkin? I cannot. I think it's so cool. This is really one of the coolest things ever. Okay? Oh, this is going to work just fine. It's not too big. Anyway, so this dog has been abused. Okay, so I've been trying to get her to warm up to me. And she does. She's good with women. She's better with women than with men. Okay? Although, she loves Chris. When Ivy's here, and that's the other thing, she changes her complete personality when Ivy is home. As soon as Ivy leaves, she acts very secluded, goes to her kennel, just stays in her kennel, even though the door's open to the kennel. Anyway, so today, I go to take a nap. I left my door open because Dozer came in and laid with me. Look! Isn't that cute? Hi, Brownie! How are ya? Welcome! Anyway, so she comes in and lays down in my bed while I'm sleeping. So I take a nap, and I wake up, and as soon as she sees that I'm awake, y'all, this dog runs out of the room. Like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to like her. I find it to be so funny, because she's like, she forgets that she's supposed to be acting like she's afraid, and then she acts cool. She slept with me on the couch, like laid on the couch with me the last 2 days while it's been storming. In the evenings, no problem. After she's asleep for a couple of hours and wakes up, she wakes up and realizes she's been laying on the couch with me. And then she's like, oh no, gotta go to my kennel. Look how awesome this looks. Super cute. I'm loving this. It's perfect for your patriotic decor. These are easily storable. You can get transfers to use with these star cutouts also, but I like the simplicity of no transfer on it. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Hey, Sandy. Look at that one. Look how good that looks. I did the edges too, so it's nice and shiny. The gilding wax is pretty much dry now. Yeah, it is. So, y'all, look how great these look. Aren't they wonderful? I love them. I'm going to go put them somewhere in my house immediately. I hope you love them. If you do, make sure that you comment star. And even if you don't, comment star, get the message, make sure that you're getting notifications whenever I go live. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Have a wonderful Friday night. I love you all so much. Aren't they great? I'm glad you like them. See y'all later.